I can't talk. Greetings, friends, it's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're here today for another episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
There it is.
A podcast for gamers who don't have time to game. Welcome to another exciting episode. Excuse me. This is our news episode for the month of November. So it's Black Friday. So hopefully you've managed to get some great Black Friday deals already by the time you're listening to this, or maybe you're waiting in line to get in somewhere. Do people do that anymore?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't feel like that's a thing anymore.
I think like Amazon has killed the line waiting.
Yeah, like Black Friday shopping is no longer what it was 20 years ago when there were people camping out outside of Best Buy trying to get a new TV.
Can I tell you something that might make people judge me a little bit?
Absolutely.
So I think I've mentioned on this show before that I used to work at Best Buy.
Yes.
And I worked one or two Black Fridays for them. I loved it.
Really?
I loved it so much. It was so much fun. It was chaos. It was just absolute chaos. But it was so much fun.
Yeah. I worked for one Black Friday at Sears before I decided that retail was not going to, or at least retail in Sears was not going to pay me what I needed to survive. I was there for about 9 months, and one of those months was November. So I was there for Black Friday at Sears, and I just remember having TVs like stacked up in the warehouse, with just ready to go. It was great.
I have these vivid memories in my mind of like my coworkers going back in the break room, and there was just like Red Bull cans everywhere, and people were asleep on the couch, and it was just like. It was great.
That's really funny.
It was great times.
That is really funny. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Black Friday is just... You're right. Like, the internet has 100% killed Black Friday as far as... But I can remember, like... I don't remember how old I was, but I remember going and standing in line waiting for something to get...
Yeah.
Like, to get in for Black Friday. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember doing it.
Yep.
It's just... The amount of time that you had to spend just trying to get something, quote unquote, on sale. Like,
right.
I don't know, like, I did not pay attention when I was working at Sears to the prices, like, on Black Friday versus before Black Friday. Like, I just wasn't, I was oblivious. I didn't care. It was just, because I was just out of college, just married. We were like, I was 21 years old. So
you didn't care.
I didn't know or care.
Yeah.
It was just like, I'm just working.
Yep.
But now, like, I wish I could go back and like be like, what are the actual discounts here?
Yeah.
as an almost 40-year-old, I'm like, man, what are those discounts?
What did I miss out on? I did get all of the Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray on a Black Friday one time, and they were a good deal. I want to say I got them for about $8 each, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. So it was Walmart.
Sure.
And I saw the ad, and I was like, "Yeah, I want those." So here I go.
See, I don't want the Harry Potter movies. I think the Harry Potter movies are terrible.
I feel like you've told me this before.
I feel like we might have talked about this before when I talked about Harry Potter, but. I like the books enough. The books are good. I feel like the movies are just blah compared to, like, they do not live up to the hype of the books. Yeah. And also, if you haven't read the books, the movies make no sense.
That's true.
You can't, like, they leave so much stuff out to the point where it's like, it doesn't make sense that this is going on right now.
Yeah.
This is not, like, nothing that's happening right now. I have no idea why it's happening. I don't get it. So that's true. That's my opinion on the Harry Potter movies, if anyone cared.
There you go.
So
Even if you didn't, now you got it.
now you know. And I may have shared that on here before. Sometimes I forget things because I'm old.
Because we're getting old.
It's so easy to forget things these days.
Do you remember as a kid making fun of your dad because he told you the same story multiple times?
No. I don't remember that, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
We laughed at my dad all the time because, like, Dad, you have told us this story 7 times.
Right.
And the more I age, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I tell that story? I forget.
Yep.
Who did I tell it to?
No, for sure. I get that. Totally get that. I don't know. I tend to forget things quite frequently. Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Dead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
That's what's going on. Have we started yet? Are we doing this?
This is a professional podcast.
3 starts for those of you keeping track at home.
Oh my!
Really, just two. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I might be losing my mind a little bit here. That's okay. It's probably the tryptophan. Thanksgiving, food. Speaking of Thanksgiving, we've probably done this before.
I'm sure we have, but
Like food, like what's the... Ryan.
Again, this show needs a segment, a food segment. I mean, it's just such a staple of this show. It has to be part of it.
Okay, so we've got the weekly anecdote, the food segment, followed by video game news and reviews.
Got to.
Okay, it's coming soon in season 4.
The Dead Tired Dads review food or what?
Food review.
Food reviews.
We'll start another podcast for that. Ryan will review restaurants.
I could do that.
Man, that'd be awesome. We'd have some good times. So, anyway, yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So, what is the best Thanksgiving food, Ryan?
Oh, the best?
Yeah, the best.
Ooh, that's tough.
I'm just going to go real quick and simple. I'm going to go with mine right now.
Go for it.
Keep it really easy and simple. Turkey. There it is. Plain and simple. Yeah.
That's tough.
Doesn't matter how you roasted, baked, broiled, boiled, fried,
all
whatever. Yeah, like
every way.
The turkey is good.
Smoked, grilled, fried, just bring it on.
Yes.
Tough choice, but I'm gonna have to go with sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole. That's a good one.
Or I'm torn between 2 things. Pumpkin pie. I knew you weren't gonna like pumpkin pie.
I'm not a big pumpkin pie. You told me the other day. You texted me the other day.
I told you about the free
pumpkin pie, and I was like, "Dang, that sounds great." Except for pumpkin pie. Like, that's awesome. Congrats.
Man, I wish I would have known that. I would have told you to go get one and give it to me. So I'm not the only one in my house. Everyone in my house loves pumpkin pie. I text you about that. It was gone 24 hours later.
That's awesome.
But
oh man, that's too funny.
Yeah, I love pumpkin pie. To be fair, and no one's gonna be surprised by this, I love
everything about Thanksgiving.
That also.
Okay.
I love everything pumpkin spice.
Okay.
That you can get me, like pumpkin spice latte, yes. Pumpkin spice Pop-Tarts, yes. Pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, yeah. Like everything.
So you are a middle-aged white woman.
Yes. I make that joke all the time. Like, yes, I am.
Okay.
When it comes to pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Bring it on.
I don't know, man. I don't get it.
I love it so much.
I don't get it. I mean, I can eat pumpkin pie. It's just like, I don't love it.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. That's cool. That's good.
So yeah, I'm really torn between that and sweet potato casserole, but
no, sweet potato casserole I could get behind. If you gotta have a good, blend of butter and like brown sugar in there.
So do you
the little marshmallows?
I was gonna say, do you like the marshmallows on yours?
Marshmallows on yours. You don't have to, but like they're fun to have in there, right?
They are fun.
So anyway, okay. Well,
There you go.
we're gonna keep it quick on that because we got a lot that we want to get to today. I think anyway, lots we gonna want to get to because it's our news episode, and I felt like I say we have a lot to get to, but I do feel like the month of November was kind of a slow video game month in my world anyway. I didn't see anything that like a lot of things anyway that just kind of like jumped out at me. It was like, oh man, that thing, and I was like, you know.
Other than the announcement of Switch 2. Oh wait, still
That
not
still
announced.
hasn't happened yet. Well, we can dream.
One day.
We can dream.
There was like 3 different Nintendo like meetings and board
Yeah.
meetings and stuff where all the rumors were they're gonna announce the Switch 2.
No,
They did not.
They're not.
They did not.
It's weird that like I feel like Nintendo is off the rails because they came out with the Switch so quickly, much sooner
Yeah.
than Microsoft and Sony came out with the Series X and the PS5.
Yep.
I feel like Nintendo is like now, like it used to be the case that everyone came out with the new console around the same time.
Right.
And now Nintendo is like so far ahead of them with their release schedule that I don't know, like, what if they just are like, we'll just wait.
We'll just wait.
We can afford to wait.
They don't need to rush.
I don't know, but yeah, no, still nothing new on that front, which is depressing. Still, I hadn't seen anything from Metroid Prime 4 since the announcement.
Although they did, maybe I don't think we talked about this. They did confirm that whenever it's announced,
Yes.
it will be the Switch 2. That is, it will be backwards compatible
Yes.
with Switch games.
Yes.
So
we talked about that. I think we talked about
okay,
that.
I couldn't remember if we did or not.
I'm not sure. I do not remember. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't.
There we go.
There we go.
Again.
Forgetting. We are clearly not elephants. But anyway. Yes. So Switch 2 still isn't announced. Nothing new. Not really a whole lot of Nintendo news. Like it's been slow. One thing, except for. There is this at the beginning of the month. I found out, or it was announced that Nintendo was finally suing Pal World.
Yes, I was gonna mention that.
Yes. So
Funny that you mentioned
they
it.
are actually suing Pal World. It is not for copyright infringement though. It's for patent. Like so.
Yeah, it's about the throwing of the ball, right, to catch the critters.
Something like that. Yeah. And it turns out that they're only being sued for about $65,000, which is not really substantial in the world of. I mean, especially when you think about how much money Nintendo has.
So really, let's call a spade a spade. That's just Nintendo kind of being annoying and petty.
I kind of feel like that's what it is.
So
now they are also insisting on a cease and desist,
Of
like
course.
stop selling the game. But like you're really like so between Pokemon and Nintendo, it's not even like all going to Nintendo.
Yeah.
because Pokemon Company is a separate entity,
and is getting some
and
of the money.
they're getting like half of that. So it's like
that's just
it's
just like we're gonna be petty.
It's $32,000. So basically a year's salary for like the lowest of the low worker at Nintendo. They want to get that. They want to make sure that guy gets paid.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like I don't know.
I saw also related to this. I saw that the makers of Pal World, they're saying it was like their lawyers or something were saying that they might have a chance at winning the case. Did you see this?
No, I did not.
So they're saying that there was an old, it's like 8-year-old mod for Grand Theft Auto that allowed you to put Pokemon characters into Grand Theft Auto. And Nintendo never went after it or sued.
Yeah.
And so like they're saying that somehow they could bring that in as
Hey, this is you're targeting us. Like if you're like I don't know. But the thing with mods though is like most of those are free, and so it's
Yeah.
like now granted it's still Nintendo. They will still come after you.
well, Pal World is free. Well, I guess it's on Game Pass.
Right.
So,
I mean, there's got to be something.
so yeah.
Anyway, so there's that, and that's
That is news.
we get into the
Newsworthy.
legal stuff of that kind of those kinds of things, and Nintendo is notorious for being petty with their content.
That's what that is. So much.
But like, I just think that's hilarious. Like $32,000 for Nintendo,
Yeah.
$32,000 for Pokemon, like.
They're gonna pay their attorney more than that.
Oh, almost, they
Like,
already do. Like that's what
That's-
like, you gotta
it's not
sue.
even-
You gotta like we gotta win this case so that we can pay the
it's
attorney.
not even worth their time.
I don't know. Also, speaking of Game Pass and Power World being available on it,
Yeah.
so I'm sure this was already a thing, but I saw an ad for that this was on sale, that you can get basically a console free Xbox through an Amazon Fire Stick and Xbox Game Pass. Like, so you can get the whole, like, it's on a Black Friday sale, and Black Friday sales no longer just mean on Black Friday because it's on the internet.
Yeah.
So they offer it, 3 weeks in advance
For a month.
Yeah. But you could get the Fire Stick, a controller, and I think it was a month of Game Pass for $80.
Yeah.
And I just think again, this goes into the can't hold it, don't own it thing, but like, if you want to have a Fire Stick anyway,
Yeah.
and you want to get an Xbox controller, and you've got Game Pass, like, you could test out the Xbox before buying
Yeah.
it by getting a Fire Stick and an Xbox controller
I told you, man, they want Game Pass
on
everywhere.
everything. So anyway, if you want to do that without, if you want to get Game Pass, it's all streaming through your Fire Stick. I guess. Like, that's wild.
That is pretty cool,
That is
actually.
wild.
I kind of want to try it. How well is it a specific model of the Fire Stick, or do
Fire Stick 4K Max,
Okay,
or
so-
Fire Stick 4K.
it's the new one?
Yeah.
Kind of want to try it.
Yeah, Fire Stick 4K.
Huh.
Just I don't know, the idea behind just being able to stream games like that is it kind of is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can just play this. Like, eventually it's just going to be built into TVs, right? Like,
It's all going that direction,
Like-
yeah.
which is funny. This is actually really funny because Sega tried to do this. Like, everything has come, like, Sega saw all of this happening and they tried to do it.
They just did it too soon.
Like, with cartridge gaming. There was a Sony, I think it was a Sony or a Philips, some big, like, VCR stereo thing that hooked up, it would hook into your TV, and it had a Sega Genesis cartridge slot on it.
Huh.
Like,
That's cool.
yeah, no, it's super cool. It had like a VCR, a tape deck, CD player, everything kind of in it. And then also on top of it, yeah, here's your Sega Genesis, like, built into it.
Why not?
Because Sega was trying to do stuff like that all the time. Like, where else can we put our console? Like, I don't know, but I just think it's wild. We are living in crazy, crazy times. So,
Another practical use for that is, let's say you've got multiple TVs in your house, and you've got your Xbox on your main TV,
oh snap!
but you want to occasionally play in your bedroom or something.
Oh,
You don't want to buy another $500 Xbox just to play upstairs,
dude.
So you get the Roku, and you can.
dude. That yeah.
So that's
It didn't even cross my mind, but yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure, dude. Dude.
I'm blowing Josh's mind.
That's wild. Oh, gosh, teenage Josh would be so happy right now. Like, just so happy.
You know, like you got your well, most people's biggest TV is in the family room.
Right.
So that's where the game consoles are, again, for most people. But if you've got a...
And it would, what you were playing would transfer over.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
man.
Game Pass uses cloud save files.
Yeah.
So you would just hop on. Because I've done that before. I've played from my laptop. So
Right.
Yeah, you just...
Huh. Yeah. No, that's wild.
Turn the game off, go to bed.
Dude.
Turn it on in your bed.
Okay. So this gets into another portion of the show that we were going to do.
I've given Josh an idea.
So we every year, or at least I think it's been every year, we do our kind of like what we want for Christmas kind of thing. So I'm adding.
Josh is gonna add this.
I'm adding a 4K Fire Stick to my wish list for Christmas. So that's wish list item number 1 for me now. That's.
I kind of want one too. I kind of just sold myself on the idea.
Right? Right? That's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. I probably wouldn't even use it that much, but just to have the accessibility.
Just to know it's there.
Like, just to know that you have the accessibility to do that when you want to. Oh, man. That's cool. What a cool idea. Neato.
Neato.
And Neato sounds kind of like Neo, which means that we have to talk about Keanu Reeves in Sonic 3 as Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes.
So that's coming out very soon.
Wait. It comes out December 20th.
December 20th.
Sorry. This is a news episode, and you're breaking news to me. Keanu Reeves
is Shadow.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said Sonic, and I was like, wait a minute.
No.
What happened?
No,
Okay.
Shadow.
He's Shadow. Okay.
Shadow.
Still awesome. I didn't know that either.
Yes.
But
He is playing Shadow the Hedgehog.
I was wondering why we were just, replacing Sonic after 2 movies. But
No. That would be really funny though. Can you imagine Keanu Reeves
just
doing
out of nowhere,
Sonic?
he's Sonic.
That would be wild.
All right. Well, it's not. You're not breaking my mind now.
Okay.
But I was like, wait a minute.
So as a promotional thing, Paramount sent out I don't know how you got on the list to get this thing, or like if it was just to like video game review companies. We got left off of that one, unfortunately.
Where was ours?
Yeah, for real. But they sent out Sega Genesis cartridges of a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 game.
Huh.
Like, so not Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the Sega Genesis game. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, the game.
Okay.
And it's not really a game, but like it came with like full packaging.
Oh,
and
it's made to look like a game. I see. Yeah,
it was actually a playable cartridge
okay.
that you could put into a Sega Genesis, and it came up with all kinds of little features and things like that. And it's weird, like the retro market for that kind of campaign, for that kind of advertising is really wild.
I am
cool.
sure that ours is in the mail.
I wish.
And on the way to us.
Yeah.
Any day now, we will get our copy.
I want one desperately. Again, I don't know what you had to do to be on that list, but I might do whatever I need to get on that list. If someone could just send me one, Paramount, please get that over to me right now, if you could.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's it. And then let's see here. A couple other things in that regard. A new game came out on November 20th called Stalker 2.
Yes.
Which, Heart of Chernobyl, I think?
Yep.
Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
Yes.
Horror, first-person shooter, survival game.
Yes.
Haven't watched a whole lot of it. I just kind of found out about it, but it looks incredible.
It looks awesome.
It looks incredible.
It looks
from just
awesome.
The very few things that I've seen. And it's been out for about a week now. But within 2 days, over 1 million users,
Yep.
which is insane. Like that just I don't know. And that's just on I think that's just on Steam. 1 million users on Steam, because Xbox doesn't release the gamer data for how many users are on. So it's on Game Pass.
Yep. It sure is.
And
you can play it on your
yeah, you can play it on your TV. You
can play it on your
new
Roku 4K
Fire Stick 4K. So
awesome.
I don't know, but so there's that. That looks pretty cool.
It looks so awesome. That one is on my Christmas wish list.
Yeah. It might be on mine too.
It was not on my radar at all.
No, mine either.
A good friend of mine texted me like a week ago and said, "This has been on my radar for a long time. You should check it out." And I was like, "What is this? Where did it come from? And why have I not heard of it?"
Well, apparently it's like the fourth in a series,
Right.
and the last one was released in like 2009.
Yeah.
So It's been like 15 years since they've released anything, which is crazy. But anyway, it looks pretty cool. Kind of has me excited for it. Even though I literally have not heard anything about. I'm in the same boat. I have no idea. Hasn't been on my radar.
Yeah.
But I started seeing some stuff on it. I was like, that looks really interesting.
It does look.
It
really
kind of
good.
feels like just based again. I don't know. I didn't watch any trailers. I just saw screenshots. But it kind of reminded me kind of a Satisfactory type thing where survive where you're just kind of alone. I could be completely off base, but it's first person shooter as opposed to building. But
I watched a 20-minute YouTube on it of a guy who he played it for what was the premise of his video was he played it for 20 hours and then was giving his review. And it reminded me a little bit of Fallout 4 from sort of the apocalyptic survival aspect. It's I would call it hyper realistic.
yeah,
You can get injured in bad weather. I mean, just everything is very, very realistic, and so you can't leave your base without food and water and stuff like that. So it's a survival game, a very realistic survival game.
Well, I think it's interesting. The company that made it is based out of Ukraine, which I find interesting. Because obviously it's in Chernobyl, so it's in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, it could be a good one. It could also be not up my alley. But it looked interesting enough anyway.
I'm definitely going to play it because it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass, so why not?
But yeah, I'm so interested in it that I actually put it on my Christmas list, even though it's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
so.
There you go. Speaking of things that are on free-to-play things if you're paying money for them, for subscription services.
Correct.
Donkey Kong Land is available now on the Switch virtual console for the Game Boy.
Is that what my Game Boy update was?
Probably.
Oh, okay. I didn't check.
Now, I never played Donkey Kong Land. I'm just not really a huge Donkey Kong fan. I don't love the Donkey Kong games. But I was watching the trailer that they had for it when it came out on the Switch, and I gotta say, we used to put up with absolutely terrible, terrible things. Just trying to play, just imagining myself being okay playing on a screen with a green background. And I'm saying this as a retro gamer. I love retro games, but trying to play something on a Game Boy that is trying to emulate something from the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
It looks so hard to play. And I'm sure the developers tried really, really, really hard to make it look as good as it could, and it still falls flat on its face. And just how far we've come, in the way that the way that games are, it's pretty incredible feat.
That's true. I had kind of I mean, it sounds silly to say, but I had kind of forgotten about that green background on the Game Boy.
Yeah. Well, because they came out with like the Game Boy Color, and then like so that was like no longer a thing really. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to worry about the green background as much. It was like, you got color. But like that whole thing, like it's so like when you're trying to get something, like it's fine if it's not like super, if it's not meant to be super detailed, or if it's not like, if it's something simple like Tetris. The reason the Game Boy succeeded was because of Tetris.
Yeah.
Like Tetris is what like really sold the Game Boy. But like the other games that they put out on that, like you're trying to emulate, like they're trying to emulate the things that they had on their home consoles, and a lot of times, and it's it's so hard for me anyway. Now I'm sure playing it back, in the 90s,
you didn't think about it.
Wouldn't have thought about it, but like trying to play something on the Game Boy now is so incredibly difficult because it is just brutal.
Yeah. True.
With the screen and just trying to track it, like I don't know. But anyway, if you want to try to strain your eyes, you can go play that. It's out and available. If you've got the Nintendo Virtual Console Pass, family plan, or whatever it is that they call it. I don't even remember what they call it. I just pay for it.
Nintendo Switch Online.
That thing.
Something.
But yeah, that's out there. One other, or a couple other things before we get into our full Christmas list rundown. Woo. So I have gone on record over the last month or so. I get 2 months, I guess. It was sometime last month that I said this. I don't remember if it was in our news episode or in my review. But I said that the PlayStation 5 has nothing coming out that I'm excited about. I have no desire for a PlayStation 5. I don't need a PlayStation 5.
Oh.
And I realized that I had lied.
Do you take it back?
I do take it back. It's basically the same reason why I bought my PlayStation 4, except it's a different Marvel hero.
Oh, okay.
Insomniac. Is it Insomniac?
Yeah, Insomniac. Yep.
Insomniac. Couldn't remember if it was Insomnia or Insomniac. Anyway, Insomniac has a new Wolverine game.
Ooh.
That is coming out. And this has been announced, and I don't know that we ever talked about it, but it was announced a while back. And I knew about it and forgotten about it because I didn't see anything on it. But like that is coming out for the PlayStation 5. It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. And that is, in fact, a game that like, you want to give me, control over Wolverine in an Insomniac type game, with the same kind of style and feel as Spider-Man. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Josh is going to buy a PS5.
Probably. That's, something. That's literally why I bought my PlayStation 4. Was because of it was two games. It was Spider-Man and it was Detroit Become Human. Like, those were the two games that I was like, it's worth having a PS4 just to play those two games.
Those are two good games.
Well, and the thing was, like, I was part of a video gaming group, and I kept seeing all of these people playing it, and I was like,
that looks so fun.
I want to play that game. I really want to play that game.
Wish I had it.
Like, yeah, peer pressure weighed in heavily on that decision. So yeah, there's that, and that's like I said, I don't know anything about it. I don't know when it's coming out. I just know that it is coming out. And also, you've got, the Spider-Man 2 and the Miles Morales, kind of, that one's more of an expansion pack on the first one than it is a new game. But I would like to play both of those. So, I mean, really, I guess it's for 3 games that I'd be buying the PlayStation 5. So that's,
there you go.
That's, reasonable, right?
Yes.
Right?
I'll say yes so that you feel good about your purchase.
Yeah, whenever that happens. When the Wolverine game comes out.
When the game comes out.
So, which, speaking of, like, the PlayStation 5, that is actually on my Christmas list now.
There you go.
Because of the Wolverine game. Like, that's the only reason. Just, I just want to prep for that. Also, the Switch 2 is on my Christmas wish list.
No way.
Just just for, kicks and giggles, where basically just don't worry about buying me anything. Just when the Switch 2 comes out, just get me that. Like, just save your money now.
Don't buy Josh any Christmas gifts this year or next year.
Oh, it's going to be out by next year.
Sure it is, Josh.
It'll be out by next year. My guess is they got to release it in the spring.
It'll come out next year with Metroid, right?
5 years later. No, I have every confidence that the Switch 2 will release before holiday 2025 and probably in the spring of 2025.
All right.
Would be my guess. I don't know, but
So start saving your pennies.
and then let's see, Ryan, do you have any more news? You said
Not really.
Okay.
The two things that came to mind for me were the Pal World lawsuit and something else that you mentioned, and now I've forgotten.
Okay.
But
So I stole your news. My bad.
when you said it, I said, yeah, I was going to mention that. So,
Yeah. Well,
it was a slow news month.
It was. It really did feel like it. One other thing that I did want to mention that I found interesting, in this day and age where you can release a game and then just change it whenever you want to.
Of course.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, yes.
Star Wars Outlaws, which is something I might be interested in playing, but I don't know. I'm just skeptical of Star Wars games these days, just because there's so many things that can go horribly wrong. But Star Wars Outlaws has patched the game to remove all stealth requirements.
I saw that.
So they're like, because I think people were just frustrated with like the need, like, oh, you have to be stealthy in this, and like people just want to rush it. People are more like Matt and just want to just rush in and destroy everything and not have to worry about it. So I just thought that was funny because why not? Like,
So I haven't played the game, but if I'm understanding correctly, these stealth requirements were the intended way that the game designers wanted the game to work. It was working properly.
right, correct.
And people were complaining about it, and so
Correct.
they were like, okay, we will just get rid of the way that we wanted this game to work because
Correct.
you complained about it.
Correct.
Awesome.
So essentially, and the other thing is, it's like, I think it's probably the case that you can still do it with stealth. Like, you can still accomplish whatever mission it is.
Yeah.
Stealth is just optional now.
Yeah.
It's no longer required that you not be seen.
Yeah.
Which, again, for me, that kind of like, it's like in Assassin's Creed, like when it's like, oh, like, yeah, this is a stealth mission, and like you get caught. Well, like, yeah, so now you it's not that like it ends the mission. It's that like, oh, well, now you just have to like accomplish what you were supposed to accomplish and escape from the people trying to kill you.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
that's how you do stealth properly.
It
right?
increases the difficulty.
Right. Like, by not being stealthy, your difficulty is just, well, you're just going to die.
Yeah.
Like, that's all there is to it. Now, granted, and that can be really annoying. There are several missions in the Assassin's Creed games that I remember being like, this is stupid. But they couldn't just come in and remove that. It's part of the game. So I thought that was funny. And again, it's a wild, wild world that we live in.
Huh.
But anyway, that's all I got for news. So why don't we? We've already talked a little bit about our Christmas wish lists. We can get into that a little bit more here. So,
Yep.
Ryan, why don't I've shared 2 things that I now want on my Christmas list. So
All
why
right.
don't you?
Well, I sold myself earlier on the Fire Stick 4K.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I kind of want that now. I also have a couple games on my list. I mentioned Stalker 2. Another game that I have on my Christmas list is called Metaphor ReFantazio.
Okay.
which came out in October, and it's very much it's right now got several nominations for Game of the Year.
Oh wow!
It's a lot of people who have given it strong reviews are saying, similar to and better than some of the more recent Final Fantasy games.
Gotcha.
It's made by Atlas, the people who make Persona, so it's similar art style. It's a RPG, so Josh will never play it.
Also, the Atlas is also the company that made Trauma Center, just so, which is, a great game.
It is a great game. So it's if you look at the art or the combat style, all very similar to the Persona games, which, I've mentioned on this show before, so I love those types of games. So Daniel and I will play it and tell Josh how great it is, and he will then say, okay, and move on as if it never happened.
Exactly. Because, they don't exist in my world.
But yeah, so that's one I'm interested in.
Okay.
I think, you go while I check my list here.
Yeah, for sure. One that I'm hesitant to put this on my Christmas list, but I do want to play it because I love the series, and it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I love Indiana Jones. I really do. At least I'll rephrase. I love Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I love The Last Crusade. Like, I love the 2 of the 5 movies. Okay, so there's that. But anyway, the most recent one wasn't terrible, but that one went way out there, I felt like. So did Crystal Skull. But anyway, I really, really do like the character of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like the spirit behind Indiana Jones, I do like. And the idea of being able to actually have a good Indiana Jones game, is exciting, and it kind of builds up a little bit of hope. And granted, the thing that I'm worried about, and is probably what will happen, is that the hopes that I have for the game will be dashed upon the rocks and just absolutely destroyed because the game's going to be terrible. But I still want it. I still want to play it, and I want to try it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be good. And I hope it is. So,
well, if you don't get it for Christmas, you can always play it on Game Pass.
That's true. So,
I think that releases in December, I believe.
I hope so, because it's on my Christmas list.
I just saw the release for it the other day, but I can't remember now. I want to say...
We'll get our research department on that.
I want to say mid-December. And the reason I'm mentioning that is, literally it's a Christmas release type game.
December 9th.
Okay, there you go.
December 9th. So just a few days from now, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like a week. Or less,
you go.
A little bit more than a week, I guess, but week and a half.
There you go.
So, yeah. I would like to get that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I have on mine that I haven't mentioned is, and this one's kind of random, is Borderlands 3.
Okay.
And the reason it's random is because it's been out for a while now.
Yes.
So much so that even on the Switch, I want to say it's only $20. It's
right.
Really cheap. I just never got around to playing it, and I've mentioned before it's one of my favorite franchises.
Right.
And so I have all of the Borderlands games on Switch. And
because we bought them on that deal.
We did.
And we played it once.
That's true. That's true. We should play that.
We should.
I have never owned that one or played that one, and when I saw how, I think I saw it on Amazon for $17. It's very cheap.
Nice.
And
yeah.
so I thought that that's a very cheap. If it ends up not being good or whatever, oh well, nothing lost.
Right.
So I have that one on my Christmas list too.
Excellent. I do have a few other things. I would love if someone would just buy me a year subscription to Game Pass. Like that would be sufficient for me. As a matter of fact, like I feel like those like subscriptions in general are just really good, easy things that you could get people for Christmas.
They are, and so I'm not even kidding. I'm not copycatting you. I didn't mention it, but you just reminded me. They are. You can buy Game Pass cards on Amazon.
Yes.
Like I just saw it the other day and added it to my list. So, what I'm saying is I'm confirming what you're saying, that it's a great Christmas gift because someone who, a parent or a sibling who doesn't know anything about games can get it for you, hand it to you, and here you go. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and also, like, you spend so much money throughout the year on those things. And if someone would just give it to you for your birthday or for Christmas, like...
Oh, yeah.
It just like... You've just saved that person, like, by giving them a year subscription to something, you have just saved them, that much money.
I did that for a couple of my birthdays with PlayStation Plus. Like, that was just...
Yeah,
that was my birthday, and great, awesome. I don't have to pay for this for a year. So
exactly.
No complaints from me.
So yeah, Game Pass is on my list. A year subscription to Game Pass would be something that I would love to have.
There you go.
For Christmas. And then I got 2 other games that I want. One kind of for myself, one more for my family. The new Mario Party Jamboree, which I think is, probably... Mario Party is just great.
It's so much fun.
I haven't played like Mario Party like really in a long time. My daughter loves playing Mario Party 2 on the virtual consoles.
Yep.
On the N64, and so that's always fun, like watching her play that and just kind of seeing the joy that she gets out of playing it and being reminded of how much time I wasted on that game because. When you played Mario Party back in the day, it was like, oh, you're dedicating 2 hours to this game.
Yeah.
Like there was no way about it. Like it's gonna take you forever to play through that thing.
Yeah.
But it was always a lot of fun, and I know that they've shortened it up and kind of made it a little bit different, but that would be fun to have. And then the other one I mentioned when they announced it. I don't remember when they announced it, but I mentioned it. But Epic Mickey Rebrushed.
Oh yeah.
Which is coming out or has come out. That I had the game on the Wii and I just never got around to playing it like so many other games that I have, even more recent ones that I bought and just haven't gotten around to playing. So yeah, I would love to actually have a chance to sit down and play that one. I think my kids would love that one and would want to. I think my daughter would want to play it. My son would be very excited about it. So, I think those are my 4 or 5, 6 Christmas wish list things.
There you go.
So, that's it. So that's November news and Dead Tired Dad's Christmas wish list for 2024. Ryan, have you got anything else for us today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well. Then you guys are in luck. That's the end of the episode. Wait, what were we doing here again?
I forget.
I don't even remember.
Food reviews.
Food? Oh, yeah. How was that oatmeal cream pie, by the way?
It was good.
Okay, good.
It was so good.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. Thanks so much for listening. And thanks, for sticking with us. We do appreciate it. Please do like, share, subscribe, follow, do all of the things. And maybe if you do, we'll, post something sometime other than the podcast. Unlikely. But,
You never know.
You never know. If you definitely won't know if you don't follow and subscribe and do all of the things.
It's only one way to find out.
So we'll catch you on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
Bye.